In the heart of competition, it's easy to be emotionally charged and let the bad thoughts take over. It's easy to salt out. It's easy to blame your character. It's easy to point the finger at any number of external factors. But competition isn't all about what's easy. It's about the long road to improvement and the one skill above all else that needs to be mastered along the way. Mental game. Good mental game helps you move past the struggles of competition faster than other players who sit in their losses and mold. It's what separates those who grow at a rapid rate and those who get stuck blame shifting. Now, you may think of Icon, you may think of Skyjay, you may even think of a local hero of your scene with fantastic mental. But when I think of rock solid mental, I think of Apollokage.
Oh my god!
There he is, man. The Apollokage. God damn!
Such an amazing job putting 184 and the C4!
Low. So usually snakes will double jump into Cypher. Oh my goodness, bazooka to the face!
No, Apollokage locking him in.
He was ducking for cover there, bro. He got transported right to a
No
war.
way!
Not a lot of players like super strong, making a lot of showings, but oh my god! Wadi right off the bat, 6 seconds!
Oh, meat cleaver.
Oh! Interaction to no take for Tony Z Tank. Unfortunately, Sticky got the Sticky!
Falling up air from Snake?
He's down tilt and a grenade, and is he stuck?
Oh, he's
Is he stuck? He's stuck!
Player who tackles all of the aspects of a healthy competitor head on. He wants to improve efficiently, he's motivated, and most of all, his mentality is something everyone can learn from. But let's lay the land first. An introduction. This is Apollokage. He's a snake player from the region of St. Louis in the US state of Missouri. He's currently ranked 20th on alt rank with a slew of wins over the likes of MKLeo, Gluttony, Riddles, Sonics, Onin, Shuton, Cola, Esam, Kurama, and Anathema, among many more. He's been power ranked in St. Louis almost every season since Alt's beginning, being ranked first for the previous 2 ranking periods. His ultimate career would begin with a period of playing Luigi before switching to Snake. During the 2019 period, he'd consistently placed top 8 at St. Louis monthlies and placing anywhere between 9th and 33rd at regionals. He would attend 3 majors pre-quarantine, with a 513th at Super Smash Con 2019, 129th at Genesis 7, and 97th at Frostbite 2020. His greatest accomplishment pre-quarantine would be at C-tier event Sweet Spot 6, where he placed 7th out of 222 entrants. Quarantine era would be where he gained a serious level up, where he would attend over 90 events between March 2020 and May 2021 online, placing well consistently. His return to offline would bear fruit, as now he wasn't just placing top 8 at events, but now winning. His first major back would be a bit unfortunate, placing 49th, losing to 2 top 8 finishers, Tweak and Louis Money. But his breakout would come at Super Smash Con Fall Fest 2021, where he would pick up one of 2021's greatest upsets, beating Esam in one of the Pikachu's most practiced matchups ever, mere weeks after Esam had dominated Glitch 8.5. His regionals following this got better and better, and after the misstep at Glitch Infinite falling at 49th, Apollo wouldn't miss a beat as his major and regional form grew and grew, until we get to where we are now with the top level mainstay he's grown into. Now we're aware of his history on the sticks, let's talk mental game. Class is in session. I'm going to show a clip of him explaining his mentality, and we're going to analyze. And by we, I mean me, because this is a pre-recorded and edited video, but you know, if you want, you can analyze it in the comments.
And I used to have a really bad mentality in like previous games. So I would like lose
COD
a
will do that to you.
1v1 and MOBA, or like in the MOBA, because like you get ganked by like another person. So like ADCs will 1v1 and a jungler can come up behind you and you 2v1. So I'd be like, oh dude, this guy's a shitter. He had to get his jungler to come help him. You suck. So like when I was doing that,
game,
right?
AK. That's the point of it.
Hey, listen.
Teaming.
Hey. So it's like, yeah. It was a good play, but like I gotta be real. So it's like one of those things where that happened, right? And I hit this point, and I just plateaued for like a year. And then it happened to like the first month of Smash where I was like that too. I used to be a Snake pessimist. I tried to drop him like 4 times, didn't work. Here he is. But I flipped it because I was like, this doesn't work. Let me try the other way. And it kind of got me to this point now to where it's like, you can have the negative mindset because it's like, we're only human, right? We can't be all positivity all the time. That shit's not real. True. But it's like, you got to think about what gets you closer to the end goal. What gets you to that point where you are closer to winning and what you want to accomplish? Because like, while I could say, oh, dude, you're such a shitter. Wow, this sucks. That does not make me better. Doesn't help me win.
All right, got your notes? Good. Let's dive in. AK has a major focus on being more so efficient. It's correct to make the statement that people can't be positive all the time. It's just not how people work. What we can learn from this mentality is to seize every time you play as a learning opportunity. You get more out of learning when you're open-minded. This is what makes up why AK's growth has been borderline exponential, even though progress is never linear. This is why focusing on the process and not results is what moves you forward faster. The less time you're spending thinking about every little interaction that costs you the set, the less time you're likely to spend being tilted. You'll get in your own head about it. Minimizing the time you're spending being frustrated is doable when you take a bit to clear your head, and then you can go and ask for advice when still in the venue. You can grind the matchup in friendlies, and when you go home and practice or study, you have specific check marks to hit. It is the idea of process over results. If you're valuing the tangible results over using learning experiences to grow, your mood is just going to sway based on whether you win or not. This is what AK does better than any other player, trusting the process, dusting himself off, and getting back to work. This is a mindset that more and more is the path of a top player. Salt is funny, but it never looks or feels good after you do it. AK stated himself he formerly was someone who got mad a lot. This is actually pretty common for someone with a good mentality. The reason most with a good mentality reach a point a lot of players can't comprehend is because once you salt out enough times, you realize it's a waste of effort, and this is where the good mentality starts from. Being salty feels good in the moment, but you don't improve at all by being mad. Playing down your character or wanting to play someone else for no reason other than they're a top tier isn't going to help you improve. The simple fact of a good mentality, despite it being hard to learn, is simply a fresh perspective. It's a new way to drive forward your goals through changing your processes to develop a healthier mindset. So before we wrap up our analysis, let's see one more clip.
Anything you want to say to the people out there before you go?
Pick a top tier, and if you're playing a top tier, sorry to say, it's probably not the character.
True. Spitting.
Outside of all of the mentality stuff, this is important. When learning a character, you learn your character as a set of tools that guide the way you learn the game. If you're picking up a top tier in the pure sense of wanting to win, it may be the wrong way to approach it. Yes, Apollokage plays Snake, who's top 10 to 15 on most people's tier lists, but Snake for him was about the journey. This was his way to learn the game. What has he learnt about his character? Well, Snake's kinda broken. He's a pretty good character. So listen, even if you don't take anything from the mentality stuff, at least take this message. Regardless of tier list placement or matchup spread, or whatever, you get out what you put in with your character. If you learn to master your character's kit, and you genuinely believe in your character, you can do it. If you learn the 4 skills of discipline, execution, knowledge, and experience, you can get to where people like AK are. His character belief is part of why his mentality is so strong. So Apollokage is a pretty good player. From a humble Luigi from St. Louis to a Snake with a handy Steve that's now shaping top level and putting Snake back on the map. His growth has shot up like nothing else since quarantine, in no small part to his character belief that's pushed his grind and his mentality to stay rooted in trusting the process. On Twitter, you may see a guy who won't stop talking about Snake, improvement, and One Piece, but what I see is a player reshaping what mentality looks like for a top player. It is more common to see players asking for advice after top level sets, like they're just an O2 at a local, getting their first taste of fighting PR. Apollokage is a pioneer of his character, and you better believe he's an inspiration. When he finally gets his hands on the crown of a major or a super major, you better believe I'll be screaming from the hills to celebrate his win. This is a top 15 player who everyone can learn from. And I think that's incredible, but that's gonna be it from me. AK, if someone ever sends you this, or you find this, just wanna say, keep going, dude. You're sick, and I love the energy you bring to top level. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next time.